Hello, everybody. I'm so excited that you were here. So have you ever seen a clothing item that says one size fits all? Well, I'm here to tell you that is not true. Believe me, I've been multiple sizes. It's just like that in education. One size does not fit all. I'm Melissa Summerford. I've been in education for 16 years. I started off as support staff, then went to teacher, and did some instructional coaching as well. And now I'm a teacher success champion here at CAMI. So let's talk about what is personalized learning. So it's a unique roadmap that you can create for your students. So if you think of it as a map, what direction are your students going to go and how you are going to get them there. To me, it starts with student-centered instructions. With personalized learning, you can really be the guide on the side, leading your students through the instruction, allowing them to step up and be the leaders. Now, how I started looking at data. You know when we go those PLCs and we investigate our data? That is what helped drive me to try this in my classroom. I thought, how am I going to get my students to achieve the next level of learning? Well, I used something called learning paths. This is where I led my students through the learning. We had non-negotiables, and then we had choice. This really got my students excited for the learning. And I tried some flipped classroom activities in my class. But then I started thinking, well, what if I flip the learning and let the students lead more? I'm telling you what, when I did this is where I saw the leadership really started to take place. Tailoring the lessons, getting the students what they needed to learn, figuring out what drove their excitement in the classroom. So I became obsessed with using personalized learning. Back to the data. This is what really drove my small groups. I was able to meet with all of my students, my RTI, my bubble kids, my GT, by using this method every day. This is where I started to see the highlights come in. This is Alexis. She began to see, if you notice, she's like, I don't get it yet. I struggle with number lines. This is where the student ownership came because the students were taking lead on their learning. If you look at Frankie's here, you'll notice he starts to highlight, I notice, I wonder, during a science experiment, they really started to take ownership in their learning because the learning was meant for them. They got so excited, I'm going to tell y'all, they got so excited that they became problem solvers. They were stepping up to the plate and saying, Miss Summerford, I want to share this. They wanted to lead the class, and I just stepped back and I let them do this. Now, I'm not going to lie, it wasn't easy. When I started making this change, I really had to think about what I was doing and how I was going to do this in the classroom. It just took grit and determination. I started adapting to new changes by first creating a student-centered environment. I did flexible seating. A little scared, but I'm telling you, it was amazing to let students choose where they sit, where the pencils went. I let go of all that control. So, and when we think about preparing our students, John Dewey talks about and says this quote that I will always remember. It's not about teaching to how we learn, it's about teaching to the student's future because we don't know what they're going to be doing. So embrace that change. It's okay to fail. I failed several times, but each time I learned something from that failure. I invested in reading. I started personalizing the learning for myself. And when I did this, I became excited, and that excitement does transfer to your students. They see that you're invested in their learning. Find a group, find your squad, find a group that connects with you where you can troubleshoot together because you don't have to be on an island alone when you are trying something new in your classroom. I did that, and it really changed everything. Because what you do, this is the first grade, Melissa, what you do, kids will remember. I remember what I did. I needed that personalized learning. And so it became a mission of mine to do that with my students, to make sure they got what they needed. So thank you so much. I'd love to meet and greet you. So if you're around, come to the Cami booth, 1618. I'd love